And now I've got the real pleasure to greet Marco Nussbaum, who is the CEO and founder of prizeotel. Marco, how are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you very much.
And where do I find you? Where are you? You're not. That's the hotel in Bern. Are you in a corridor in Bern?
Yes, actually, no. But I love the Zoom playing around. And I think we're going to make some corporate background now. But this is our new hotel in Bern, which unfortunately opened and then had to close again.
But where are you now physically yourself?
I'm in the home office now. I'm in Germany in the home office.
And where's that?
That is not in Hamburg, because I left Hamburg. But for me, that was the corona infection the possibility to get infected was too big. And I'm now somewhere in a very small countryside in the Baltic Sea area.
Oh, very nice.
So I shut myself down and I'm in the exile now.
Very nice, in exile. But Marco Nussbaum in exile doesn't keep him quiet, the way I know you. You're quite active and play a leading role in the Hotel Association in Germany. And I think it would be interesting for everybody to know what you're active with. What are you currently fighting on behalf of the industry?
Well, first of all, I'm fighting for my company. That is the biggest fight I've ever fought in my whole entire career. I've done several crises, but I have never gotten hit so bad like this one is. And this is actually something I would have loved to not have the people been confronted with this. We had 7 hotels in operation. We closed down 6 already. We have 13 under construction, but closing down those 6 hotels was personally for me the worst I have ever done. That was the toughest management decision, and but there was no choice. There's no alternative. But it was one of my hardest decisions I had to take.
Yeah, but it is fortunate though. I mean, one has to look desperately for a silver lining that 13 are under construction right now, because had it been a year later and they would have been open, that would have been worse. Not so.
Well, then we would have probably closed 20 hotels by now. Yeah. And still, I really feel for the people who work for us. We have an awesome spirit. I mean, I get videos from the hotels, I get messages, and I really, really, really am very proud of how the people take this hard situation. So the beginning, how do you feel? Personally, I feel good, yes, because I know we have a great spirit and we will survive this. On the other hand, professionally, I feel very bad for what is happening right now.
Yeah. Now, with 6 of the 7 hotels closed, how do you keep in touch with the team, and how do you keep them motivated? The ones that you need to correspond with regularly, I suppose.
Well, we have a saying at prizeotel that we don't want to motivate any people, but we have motivating people coming to us, and we create a working environment that is not demotivating them. So for us, it's most important that we have a working environment, even though we're not working at the moment, which is not demotivating, but also since we have a very flat hierarchy and we have a horizontal structure, we changed this a little bit. We pulled in a hierarchy. I have my colleagues Connor, Elmo, and Michael. We are somehow an executive team now. We correspond each day. Michael takes care of operations. He communicates with all our hotel team captains, which then communicate with the teams. And us 4 basically decide what measures are to take, what route are we going. We have to deal with insurance companies, with the owners of the hotels. We have to deal with different government regulations. We have to deal with all the short-term, the Kurzarbeit things and all of this. And that is really something very special, because we move together as a very, very tight, close team who goes very positively through this. And this team provides for all the people who are working in the hotels a spirit, and they give the spirit back. So this is something what motivates us, or what keeps us motivated, and what keeps them motivated. And also we have every Monday at 12 o'clock, we have a QFM. That's questions for Marco. We do a Zoom, every one of the hotels. Everybody the people of prizeotel can log in. They can ask questions. I tell a little bit about what's happening right now, how I see the current situation, how I think we will go on. And if there's anybody who has personal problems or something, then he can contact me directly if he doesn't want to talk about it in a big group, and we take care of it. I think the most important thing right now is to keep up the mental health for the people. That is really, really important, that we focus on strengthening their mental health, and that we come back in a good spirit when the business picks up again and we open the hotels.
Yeah, I suppose leadership is really what it's all about on many fronts, whether it's governments, whether it is on unit level, whether it's on company level. I think that's what is really is called for now, and what people need to have that leadership to know where the journey goes. Even though some of the leaders don't really know where it's going, but we can only plan for it as much as we possibly can with the information at hand, and that changes on a daily basis. Talking about talking to people and keeping them going until we go back to work. Do you think that things will change apart from the obvious issues right now that will hopefully be a question of months or maybe a year or two? But do you think we'll change the way we do business, the way we operate hotels? Is there going to be a big change, you think?
I think that we have to take a look, or we at least take a look at how is our guest structure, where do our guests come from. We have a very high domestic market, so at least 80% of our guests come from inside of Germany so far, which is good for recovering, because I think the domestic market will recover at first. I think the individual traveler will recover, and the business traveler, I'm not sure yet. Because what we've experienced is that we can also, if you have the right people to work with video conferences and stuff like this, then you can easily save a lot of travel expenses. You can easily save a lot of offices. You can easily save a lot of meetings. And the question is, what we have been going through, this team of the four of us, is we reflected the whole last year and reflected which meeting did we attend, what was the purpose of the meeting, what was our takeaway value of the meeting, how much time did we put in being there for this meeting, is there a return on speech or return on investment, what were the travel expenses? And honestly, I think we are going to cut this down dramatically, because we don't think that's necessary. I mean, everybody's talking about networking, but in this kind of situation, you really find out how strong is your network and how valuable is your network. And if it's just all NATO, no action talk only, or if it's just, if it's a value-driven network where you can rely on, where you have a great experience sharing. And as far as us concerned is, we have a great connection into the industry, into other industry leaders. We have a very confidential and trustworthy experience sharing on how we do things that we don't communicate to the outside. And so that runs very well. So I think that will change a lot. Concerning about how we run hotels, I think that will also change. We are thinking about how, for example, simple things as a breakfast buffet will be accepted in the next couple of years, with all those possibilities of getting infected by somebody else. And if you have a hotel with 500, 600 rooms, you see that there are small areas for the breakfast and for lunch period or something. And how are you going to reflect on that if the distance between the people needs to be a bit better? So I think there are coming quite some challenges to us.
Yeah, I mean, what I found in discussions, whether it be these online ones or others as well, is that the scary thing is that we still don't know enough about this virus, do we? We don't know how the real intricacies are working, and I think that the connection between finding out more and having a vaccine will certainly be the game changer, and will define the direction in which we're going. Talking about direction, unfortunately, time is always against me.
No, we can do a little bit longer. Don't worry about it. That's okay.
No, we can't.
Don't get stuck on your corporate regulations, as always.
No, there are no regulations. It's the viewership that decides at the end of the day. But Marco, if we take away a little bit the you mentioned corporate, if we take away hotels, but just societal. I mean, you're a man that's been involved in in the industry, but you engage with people and whatever. Beyond that, hotels will change. Will we as people change? Will we be nicer people? Will we be better people post this crisis?
Well, I believe, as Raiffeisen once said, the German quote is, "Das Ganze ist mehr als die Summe aller Teile." I don't know how to translate
Lost
this.
in translation. The whole is more than its parts, I think.
Its parts, or it's the sum of its parts, I don't know. And I believe in very good communication. I believe that if you communicate, you always have to differentiate between the identity of a person and the behavior of a person. So this is how I raise my little son. I don't say, hey, you are stupid, but maybe this, what you just did, was a stupid move. So, and I think that solidarity will bring us a long way together. I mean, at the end, if you take a look at this, we're all connected to each other. So the virus doesn't care what skin color you have, if you're rich, if you're poor. It's a human. It goes beyond the human. So we're all connected to each other. And so I think those kind of problems can only be solved together, not individually. And I strongly believe, and this is how I built the company of prizeotel, that you have to be strong as a team. You have to be strong together, and you can only achieve good things if you really are good. I think for the people and for the society, I think maybe we should be more humbled to some certain things. I mean, I find it hard seeing in Germany that you cannot move between the Bundesländer. That they shut down the borders. This is some kind of freedom that has been stopped. And I think that's unbelievable. So we should be more thankful and grateful and more humble for certain things we have and certain things others don't have, and should be focusing more on giving than on taking. And I think that a lot of people are in the face of a mind shift, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, look, I couldn't agree more. Being based in South Africa, of course, we've got a major rift between have and have-nots, and rich and poor, and I daily in this lockdown, which is just being extended by another 2 weeks, and a pretty strict lockdown where we're not allowed to go out walking with the dog, we're not allowed to go jogging, we're not allowed to leave except for shopping and going to see a doctor if you have to. One is really gets this humility to actually say, you know what, how lucky we are that we have space, that we have a little garden, that we can move within the house. There are many people who are living in small environments and in tiny places where they cannot move and they're sitting on top of each other. So, as you say, humility is a healthy thing, and it's something which certainly this crisis has brought to us. Unfortunately, time has gone, Marco. I think.
Yeah, but one more thing. Yes. One more thing, because you asked me about the associations up front, and we a little bit skipped we skipped that question because I said we have so many challenges. This is what we do. Honestly, I really see the way the people work at DEHOGA and at IHA, especially Markus Luke and Ingrid Hartges, how they in the background, they're nearly working 20 hours a day to get things done, to position ourselves, the industry in the politics and everything. And this is really, really great, because I've done this. I will put a podcast online on my Facebook page, so you can take a look, can listen to it. It's of course in German, but I am thankful. I'm thankful for the work the associations do currently at the moment, because I don't think the industry would stand as good if we don't have them.
But again, there's always a few people who really do the hard work, and thank goodness that we have them wherever we might be. You're talking about from a German perspective. We thank goodness have also people here and in many other regions. May we all come out of this very, very soon, and hopefully we can rebuild this industry. Marco, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you soon face to face with a beer in our hand. Cheers.
Okay, thank you.